And I'd like to call our own Tom McCarthy. Is he here? He is, yeah. Good evening. I'm a great believer in if you write something, you should recite it. And sometimes you have to be a little bit mad to do that. So, Christy, fair play to you. Newcomer, so well done. This actually is not my idea. This was actually Dominic Taylor's idea, for the simple reason is that I got up here one evening, at one of the readings, and I actually just spoke from the heart about my childhood. And Dominic suggested that I should write and bring poetry in between. So everything I'm about to recite is true. And I called it Middle of the Track. Another day was about to begin with the usual motherly love call. She always made my life sound, she always made my name sound like an echo, stretched out like an elastic band that would rebound and hit you in the eardrums. But she didn't stop there, and I had well rehearsed what was about to come next. Get out of bed, she cried. Jesus Christ, you're all like him, lazy bastards. Him being my dad, who was probably struggling to get on his army boots, or pumping the wheel of his bicycle in a vain attempt to get to the barracks on time. Or maybe he was just in a hurry to get out of the house before there was another brutal attack on his personality. Me, an impressionable 12-year-old at the time, was fully convinced by my mother that my father couldn't drive a nail straight, and that every soldier in the Irish Army was totally useless. What relevance that had on my life at the time wasn't visible, but I never wanted to be looked upon as being useless. And such a thought left me with a feeling of fear deep down inside. Jesus Christ, you're all like him, lazy bastards. Those were the words that influenced me, making me the person I am today. For not alone did they leave an impression of fear, but also an impression of determination. A determination that was to help me through the trials and tribulations of my life. And even though my dad wasn't the most talented man with a hammer or any other household tool for that matter, it didn't stop my mother moulding me into the man she wanted around the house. There wasn't a day went by, but she had something different that needed doing. And I, the unwilling volunteer, rebelled strongly at times, but it fell on deaf ears. My dad, on the other hand, was easygoing, and try as I may as a boy, I cannot remember being influenced by him in any way. But that's not to say he didn't change my nappy, or hold me in his arms as a baby. I'm sure he played his part as a father to the best of his ability. It's just that most of my attention was focused on my mother and her ever-ending quest to support us on a very low income. In doing so, she taught me the meaning of perseverance, sacrifice, and indirectly she taught me the meaning of love. Jesus Christ, you're all like him, lazy bastards, are not the words of a lady, but the words of a caring, loving and hard-working woman who in the early years of her married life had 4 children under the age of 3.5. Eugene, the youngest of the 4, died at the age of 2. She went on to have a miscarriage and 7 more children, finishing with twins girls in her late 30s. 10 children in all, 7 of them under the age of 9 in difficult times. She found it very hard to make ends meet on a private soldier's wages, and many a time I found myself standing inside Jackson's pawn office with my dad's only suit of clothes, folded neatly into a shopping bag every Monday morning. I can always remember my mother's words of warning before I left the house. Go to the small man inside the counter. Ask for 12 and 6pence, he will give you 10 shillings. It was easy to distinguish the small man from the tall man, because I knew the Jacksons lived on Shelburne Road. I had often seen Mr. Jackson coming